But, hey, it doesn't really matter. Because this guy is nothing. She's showing up as being as a hypocrite. I'm afraid of white people, and that's probably like him saying, "I'm afraid of rich white people," and that's what he lives around. Rich white people. And I'm not bringing this up to be as some sort of racial component, other than to say that it's not the right who's bringing race into politics constantly. It's not us on the right. It's always you. It's always you wonderful, caring people on the left that seem to have issues with race. Not those of us on the right. Sorry. Well, that's the truth. Sorry. Speaking of rich people, global warming double dipper. Again, a Daily Caller story. Global warming double dipper enriches family with tax dollars. Now, we're always told about, like Bernie Sanders telling us, oh, these corporations getting government welfare. It's like getting, government welfare checks. I'm sick and tired of these government welfare checks. A global warming crusader used a tax-exempt nonprofit to stuff his family's pockets at the expense of taxpayers. Of course, everything's at the expense of taxpayers. I'm a taxpayer. You're a taxpayer. Everything's at the expense of those of us who are paying taxes. Now, according to a complaint filed with the Internal Revenue Service by two watchdog groups earlier today, the Competitive Enterprise Institute and Cause of Action. I don't know what the hell that is. I know you're probably saying, what? Who's? I'll repeat it for you. Pay attention. The Competitive Enterprise Institute and Cause of Action. That's who they is. Plain and simple. They filed a complaint asking the IRS to revoke the exempt status of the Institute of Global Environment and Society. The Institute of Global Environment and Society, a global warming advocate that has received over $60 million in federal grants. Let me say that again. The Competitive Enterprise Institute and Cause of Action filed a complaint asking the IRS to revoke the exempt status of the institution of the Institute of Global Environment and Society, Inc., which happens to be a global warming advocate that has received over $60 million in federal grants. Our money, taxpayer money, going to fight these people who are just putting it in their pocket. And they're saying, oh, well, we got to do something about global warming. Why? Because all you're going to do is put it in your pocket, like Al Gore. You know what Al Gore did? Right? Yeah, just like Al Gore. Now, the government said that the letter should be the government should use the Racketeering Influence in Corrupt Organizations Act, that is used to prosecute members of organized crime. You know, the environmentalist wackos, all those Greenpeacers type of thing, maybe not Greenpeace itself, but all those environmentalists, they need to be brought up on racketeering charges. Really, they do, because that's what they're all colluding together to try to take away your rights to do certain things with your own property, your own health, your own life, blah, blah, blah. No, you need to have us help you pay for everything and be insightful so you can be more well-rounded. I don't need to be more well-rounded. I'm well-rounded enough. I just need people to tell us the truth. Is the truth so hard to demand and so hard to ask for? Why is it so hard to get? I don't know why the truth is so hard to get. But in any case, so this guy is making tons of cash. Now, it's incredibly ironic that while Dr. Shukla, Shukla, accuses global warming skeptics of deceiving the taxpayer, of deceiving the public, his own environmental organization has been pulling a fast one on at taxpayer expense. His attempt to use RICO to silence public debate is groundless, and so is his organization's tax-exempt status. Hey, we need to use RICO statutes against people who debase and debunk man-made global warming. Yeah, this is the guy that's been wreaking this is why that they're out there fighting now against doing stuff on your own like this. Because there are too many people who make too much money off of you by not cutting out the middleman. And the middleman in this particular, there is no middleman. They just want to be the ones who are doing and, the regulating of all this global warming crap, anti-global warming crap. They want to be the ones doing it because they're going to make all the money. Look at Al Gore. Hey, if we have a carbon exchange network where you could go and sell your carbon exchange chips, it'll be a good thing. Meantime, Al is raking in all kinds of money off of that bit type of environmentalist wacko environment. But hey, inconvenient truth was a very convenient tool to make Al Gore rich, and obviously for Shukla let me give you an example. Shukla received $333,000 from IGES in 2014 for working 28 hours per week. Oh, he worked 28 hours and got over $330,000. Wish I could do that. I'd stop working at Burger King and flipping burgers if I could make, that kind of bank. But he was paid $314,000 by George Mason that same year. He earned a total of $647,000. And he did he did it by raking you and me across the proverbial coals. Meanwhile, IGES business manager and Shukla's wife, Anastasia Shukla, received $166,000 in 2014, while his daughter Sonia is employed as their assistant with an undisclosed salary. So if he actually ever decides to, he's making too much money off of the global. This is all about manipulation, folks. This is all about who gets to control you and to take your money. That's what the global warming thing is all about. Plain and simple. Nothing, no more, nothing more, nothing less. That's all it is. Because otherwise they wouldn't be doing half this stuff. Or they'd be doing it for free, but they're making $14 million here, $330,000 there, $1.9 million here. You gotta ask, how the hell are they doing that? I'd do it. Why not? If you're gonna buy into global warming, I might as well sell you some. sell you some stuff for it. That would work for me. DC gun laws. Now this DC police chief, she deserves to get the Dumbfounded Dunecoff Award of the Year. Well, Dunecoff because it's, well, that's German, but Gun Group is chastising the Washington, D.C. police chief. Because the Washington, D.C. police chief is advocating, you won't believe what she's advocating, is advocating that people should take down the public should take down the active shooter until the cops can get there. The problem is that this particular person has stopped many a law-abiding citizen from owning a handgun in D.C., so it's going to be kind of hard to stop a shooter in progress if nobody has the ability to stop the shooter in progress. Plain and simple. Somebody needs to show me how you can do that. I mean, unless you're Jet Li or somebody, and you can, or Superman, it can run faster than a speeding bullet. That's pretty fast, by the way. How they how they're able to, well, how Superman is able to run faster than a speeding bullet. Because I don't know if a slow bullet, is there such thing as a slow bullet? In any case, the D.C. Police Chief Kathy Lanier, Lanier, her suggestion that ordinary citizens try to take down an active shooter before officers arrive is drawing criticism from Second Amendment advocates who question how residents of a city with some of the most restrictive and stringent gun laws in the nation could be expected to defend themselves. Well, like I said, unless they know karate, kung fu, or some other martial art, and they're really, really, really good at it. Maybe they're like ninja stealth, and they can avoid being shot, but only for a certain amount of time before they take one. So it means you gotta take as many of them, the shooters, out with you before the cops get there. Because otherwise, well, they say, this is the story continues. This is from the Washington Times, by the way. This is sound advice, says Alan Gottlieb, chairman of the Citizens Committee for the Right to Keep and Bear Arms. It's not the Citizens Committee for the Right to Bear Arms. It's not the NRA. And his name is Alan Gottlieb. Must be, I thought all Jews hated guns. Guess not. But D.C. Police Chief Kathy, this is sound advice, says Alan Gottlieb, chairman of the Citizens Committee for the Right to Keep and Bear Arms. But considering the draconian gun laws in the District of Columbia, it will remain difficult, if not impossible, for most private citizens to do what the chief is suggesting. Because the chief is suggesting that everybody should be armed. All legal citizens should be armed. And they should take down an active shooter. American people, the people, according to this report, they should take down an active shooter. In an interview on Sunday's CBS 60 Minutes, Chief Lanier was asked about what people should do if they're in the vicinity of an active shooter, like those who carried out the recent terrorist attacks in Paris that killed 130 people at least. Your options are run and hide or fight. I always say if you can get out in your best option, if you're in a position to try to take down the gunman, then do so. And again, you can't do that if you're a guy, if you don't have a gun.